The message from the stars the first time came as a whisper, a pulse from the void. On Lighthouse 7, humanity's most distant listening post, Dr. Elena Frost leaned closer to her console. At first, she thought it was noise, another background, side of the universe. But as the hours passed and the signal repeated with perfect mathematical precision, Elena's pulse quickened. Commander Jake Morrison joined her in the cramped control room, his posture always military, even at this hour. "You look like you haven't blinked in hours, Doc," he said. "I haven't. Listen to this." She isolated a band of the transmission, and the gentle static resolved into a melody of numbers, then star positions. "This isn't random. It's a greeting in a map. First contact?" Morrison's jaw tightened. "Let's not get our hopes up." Eleanor's green eyes didn't leave the screen. "That's not all. There's something underneath it, a secondary code, encrypted. Deep. I broke part of it. Commander, it's not just a hello. It's a dossier. They've mapped every human colony, every station, even our supposed secrets." Morrison's eyes went cold. "Surveillance." Before either could react, the door slid open. Specialist Yuki Tanaka, the youngest and sharpest mind on the station, burst in, breathless. "Commander, Doctor, you have to see this." The same signals broadcasting to every human world. 12 systems, maybe more. Morrison's face hardened. "They know exactly where we are." Yuki added, "It's coming from the Vanguard. Nebula. Signal strength suggests a fleet hundreds of ships." For a moment, the trio stared at each other in silence as the meeting settled in. This wasn't contact. It was the opening move in a war. Morrison moved with sudden purpose. "Both of you with me. There's something I've never wanted to use." But now he led them through 3 security doors to a small chamber filled with shadows and a single old console. 30 years ago, Earth started Project Lazarus, Morrison said, fingers flying over keys. Every cargo ship, every mining rig, every so-called civilian outpost, they're all armed, waiting for a code. The console hummed to life, displaying a star map crowded with thousands of hidden assets. 8,000 war-ready ships, 300 battle stations. The aliens think we're soft. They're about to learn we're the most prepared, most paranoid species in the galaxy. Yuki whispered, "You want me to send the wake-up call?" Morrison nodded. "Do it." "Elena, send everything about the alien signal to Fleet Command." As the activation signals flashed out, across dozens of worlds, every peaceful ship and station quietly armed itself. Humanity, for 50 years, had smiled at the stars, while sharpening its knives in the dark. Elena's hands shook as she finished her report. "There's no going back after this." Morrison nodded grimly. "No, but when they come, they'll find Earth ready." And out among the stars, thousands of hidden warships lit up their engines, waiting for the enemy. The sleeping giant wakes, the message from Lighthouse 7 traveled at light speed, reaching Earth's fleet command in hours. In orbit above New Geneva, Admiral Victoria King, veteran of 3 wars, hair steel gray and eyes sharp as razors, stood at the heart of the fleet's command center. "Status?" She barked. "Lazarus assets report green across the board." "Admiral," replied Captain Sarah Kim from Tactical. "All civilian disguises are dropped. We have over 8,000 vessels armed and ready, plus planetary shields coming online." Admiral King watched as a 3D hologram of human space filled with new signals. Thousands of freighters, mining rigs, and science ships now showing heavy guns and missile arrays. On the far edge of the map, an alien fleet appeared. Ships 3 kilometers long, shaped like crescent moons, moving with terrifying precision. A signal blared through open channels. It was musical, almost beautiful, a message of peace. But behind it, Elena Frost's decrypted code played. Surveillance, attack vectors, lists of potential resistance. King scowled. "Prepare the outer colonies. Tell them peace is over. Humanity stands ready." On Port Royal, a mining colony in the asteroid belt, Mayor Lucas March received the signal. He stood in his office as every ore freighter in the docks retracted their mining booms and revealed racks of missile tubes and railguns. across 100 worlds. Humanity stopped pretending. The aliens arrived in force at the edge of the Kepler system. They opened with another message: star maps, promises, requests for peaceful surrender. Admiral King gave the order. No response. Arm all weapons. Let's show them what human patience has built. From disguised silos on moons and asteroids, human missiles launched. Orbital platforms flickered on, and hundreds of ships powered up shields. The first alien assault was met with a wall of fire and steel dot in her cabin. Elena watched the news feeds, her chest tight. We're really doing this? Yuki messaged her from Lighthouse 7. The aliens never imagined we'd be this ready. It's beautiful and terrifying. As the battle raged in the void, one thing became clear. Humanity wasn't a helpless prey. They were a sleeping giant, and now they were wide awake. The battle for the colonies, the battle for Port Royal, became the template for all of humanity's defense. The aliens swept in, expecting an easy conquest, but found their boarding parties cut down by concealed turrets and human defenders in mining exosuits. On the surface, Captain Sarah Kim led civilian militias through the tunnels. They want our world? Make them fight for every meter. She shouted, welding mining lasers into weapons and using seismic charges as improvised traps above. Admiral King coordinated the chaos, prioritized targets by command signature. Yuki, feed me everything from the alien battlenet. Yuki, eep. In Lighthouse 7's comm center, counterhacked the alien networks, turning their own targeting drones against them. In seconds, dozens of alien ships spiraled out of formation, smashing into one another. Elena, exhausted, made a breakthrough. The alien shield harmonics change every 90 seconds. If we time our shots, we can punch through. She relayed the information to King, who passed it to every human ship. Suddenly, the tides shifted. Alien vessels exploded as human fire found its mark. But the invaders were adaptive. They unleashed pulse cannons that turned entire city blocks to glass and sent psychic shockwaves through the ranks. Panic spread among civilians, but humanity's stubborn resilience held. On Luna, a hidden defense base, school teachers and dock workers manned railguns alongside Marines. Every human everywhere became a soldier. Losses were heavy. Elena watched. The casualty reports in silence, face pale, or holding. King's message came through, low but fierce. We're bleeding, but we hold. Humanity's greatest strength became clear, not just hidden guns, but the refusal to give up. The counter-streakers, the war ground on, Elena and Yuki worked day and night. Together, they found the Kraken, the aliens' armor, the same surveillance signal used to coordinate their fleets. With a clever bit of code, they could send a false command, turning the enemy's advantage into a weakness. Morrison volunteered for the strike, aboard the Stealth. Ship Spectre, he and a hand-picked team punched behind enemy lines, slipping past the chaos of battle. With Elena and Yuki guiding them, they uploaded the virus into the alien flagship's relay array. The result was immediate. Alien ships turned out of formation, targeting systems blinking out. The invaders' entire battlenet became a web of confusion. King seized the moment. All ships, full assault. Humanity's fleets surged forward. Civilian ships, miners, and scientists in jury-rigged gunboats joined the charge. Everywhere, small bands of civilians sabotaged alien supply lines, making the enemy pay for every inch. Yuki's cyber warfare caused enemy weapons to misfire. Elena's analysis let human gunners time their shots to pierce the enemy's shifting. Shields with the alien command fractured. The invaders were finally pushed back. For the first time since the war began, human ships advanced. The price was paid in blood and fire. Entire cities were gone. Colonies burned. But across the galaxy, human courage shone. The price of victory, the last battle raged in the orbit of Earth itself. The sky above the blue planet blazed with the light of burning ships. Human and alien alike. Admiral King stood on the bridge of the Retribution, eyes fixed on the main display. Don't let a single ship through. Morrison, wounded but alive, coordinated the Marines on the hull. Yuki sent her final code crashing the last alien attack fleet systems. Elena, in the command center, watched the battle's end. Suddenly, a transmission broke through. It was not the melodic, false greeting from before. It was a voice, translated in trembling. We surrender. We did not understand. We did not expect this. King's voice was cold as steel. You saw it. Easy prey. Remember this? Humanity is not prey. As the fires faded, survivors gathered. Elena and Yuki met on the battered surface of Luna, looking out over the ruins. We won, Elena said, voice hollow. We survived, Yuki corrected. There's a difference. Morrison joined them, bandaged and limping. We showed the stars who we are, and across every world, as they rebuilt from ash. Humanity remembered that they had never truly been alone or helpless. The aliens had come with false peace. Humanity had answered with unbreakable will and firepower. And now, every species in the galaxy would remember. Earth stands ready.